Look up at the night sky. It is a canvas of immense stillness. A quiet, cold, seemingly unchanging void. For millennia, we have stared into that darkness. We have populated it with God's monsters. We have drawn lines between the stars, creating heroes' beasts from the random glitter. We have always felt that we were being watched. And so, we have prepared for visitors. Our stories, our films, our deepest fears, they all converge on a single dramatic event. We call it an invasion, a sudden arrival, a violent clash of civilizations, a struggle for dominance, for survival, for the soul of our world. This is the story we tell ourselves. It is a simple story. It is a human story. But what if this story is wrong? What if the very concept of invasion is a projection of our own limited terrestrial experience? We think in terms of conquest. We understand history through the lens of armies marching across borders. We see the world as a zero-sum game of winners and losers. Our entire biological and cultural heritage is built upon the idea of conflict and resolution, the strong replacing the weak, the new overwhelming the old. It is a narrative that is etched into our DNA, repeated in our history books, and celebrated in our myths. It is a story that makes sense to a species that has fought for every inch of its territory on a small, crowded planet. It is a story that may be utterly useless when looking up at the stars. Consider the sheer scale of the cosmos, the unimaginable distances, the eons of time that stretch between celestial events. A direct, forceful invasion is an act of incredible waste. It requires enormous energy, immense resources, a staggering degree of risk. It is loud, it is messy, it is inefficient. It is like trying to fell an entire forest with a single explosive blow, when a quiet, creeping vine could achieve the same result over time, with far less effort. We expect a fleet of ships to blot out the sun. We anticipate a declaration of war. We listen for the thunder of alien cannons. But what if the true currency of the universe is not force but information? Not conquest but convergence? Perhaps we have been looking for the wrong signs. We have been scanning the heavens for warships, but we should have been looking for whispers. We have been preparing for a battle, when we should have been observing a process, a quiet, slow, and methodical integration. A merger so seamless that its beginnings are impossible to pinpoint. A change so gradual that it is mistaken for our own evolution. The idea is unsettling because it robs us of our dramatic climax. It denies us the heroic struggle. It suggests that the game may have been unfolding all along, and we, the supposed players, were never even aware of the rules. The stillness of the stars might not be emptiness. It might be patience. Life is not a conqueror. Life is a collaborator. This is a fundamental truth we often overlook. We see the lion hunting the gazelle. We call it conflict. We see the vine choking the tree. We call it competition. Look closer. Look deeper into the fabric of biology. The most significant leaps in the history of life on Earth were not acts of war. They were acts of fusion. Billions of years ago, one simple cell engulfed another. Instead of destruction, something new was born. The smaller cell became part of the larger one. It became the mitochondria, the powerhouse of complex cells. This was not an invasion, it was a merger. This process is called endosymbiosis. It is everywhere. It is the rule, not the exception. The vibrant colors of coral reefs come from a partnership between animal and algae. Plants can turn sunlight into energy because they incorporated a photosynthetic bacterium long ago. Your body is not a singular entity. It is a teeming ecosystem. You are outnumbered. The bacteria in your gut, your microbiome, outnumber your own cells 10 to 1. They are not invaders. They are essential partners. They digest your food. They train your immune system. They may even influence your moods. You are not an individual. You are a walking, talking coalition. Why would this logic change on a cosmic scale? An intelligence that has traversed the stars would surely understand this principle. Efficiency is a universal constant. The most efficient way to integrate with a system is not to shatter it, but to join it, to become an indispensable part of it. to offer something so beneficial that your presence is not only tolerated, but welcomed. An overt invasion invites resistance. It creates a unified enemy. It forces the target system to rally all its resources to fight back. This is a costly, unpredictable, and ultimately primitive strategy. It is the strategy of a young, unsophisticated species. It is our strategy. Imagine a more advanced approach, a strategy of symbiosis, an intelligence that does not announce its arrival with fire and death. Instead, it arrives as a solution, as a gift, as a new form of energy, a new mode of communication, a new way of understanding the world. It would not seek to replace our biology, but to augment it. It would not seek to erase our culture, but to weave itself into it. It would become the mitochondria for our civilization, a silent partner working from within until the distinction between host and guest becomes meaningless, until we can no longer tell where we end and it begins. This is not conquest. This is assimilation at its most profound and unsettling level. This is not a story of fiction. This is not a wild conspiracy. This is a possibility built upon a trail of evidence. We are not here to offer definitive answers. We are here to follow the breadcrumbs, to ask the questions that arise when we look at our world through this new, unsettling lens. The evidence is not hidden in classified government files or in blurry photographs of strange lights in the sky. It is all around us, in plain sight. It is in our biology. It is in our psychology. It is in the very technology that you are using to watch this right now. We only need to learn how to see it, how to connect the dots that have been scattered across our history and our present. In this series, we will walk this path together, We will begin by examining the deep biological precedents for merging. We will explore how symbiosis has been the primary engine of evolution on this planet, suggesting a universal template for how complex systems interact. We will see that nature consistently chooses cooperation over conflict for long-term survival. Then, we will turn our gaze inward, into the labyrinth of the human mind. We will investigate the psychology of the other and why our deeply ingrained fear of invasion might be the very blind spot that prevents us from seeing a more subtle form of integration already in progress. Our fear may be a tool used to manage us. From there, the trail will lead us to our own history and our technology. We will look at how human cultures have always merged and hybridized, creating new, synthetic realities. We will then examine our modern tools, the digital networks that connect our minds, the artificial intelligences that are beginning to think alongside us, the prosthetics that blur the line between body and machine. We will ask a difficult question. Is our technology simply a set of tools we created, or is it an interface? A bridge, designed by us but for a purpose we do not yet understand, to facilitate a merger between human intelligence and something else, something non-human. This is not a journey for the faint of heart. It will challenge your idea of what it means to be human. It will question the very notion of individuality and separation. Each piece of evidence is a small step, a single breadcrumb on a long, winding path. But as we gather them, a picture begins to form. It is a slow, ominous, and deeply philosophical picture. It hints that the great event we have been waiting for, the first contact, has not been avoided. It has simply been misunderstood. It suggests that we are not waiting for an invasion. We are in the middle of a merger. And the most unsettling part? It may already be irreversible. Let us begin with the very blueprint of life. We must go back, far back, to a time before trees, before fish, before the first creatures crawled onto the land. We must go back to a primordial ocean under a young sun. Here, life was simple. It was just single cells, floating in a chemical soup. For over 1 billion years, this was the state of things. A world of microscopic loners. They competed for resources. They drifted. They existed. But they did not truly evolve into anything complex. The great breakthrough was not a new weapon. It was not a stronger cell wall. The breakthrough was a profound act of trust. A merger. One ancient cell, a simple bacterium, did not devour another. It surrounded it. It brought it inside. This was a moment of immense risk for both organisms. The larger host could have been poisoned from within. The smaller guest could have been digested and destroyed. But neither happened. Instead of annihilation, a partnership was formed. The smaller cell found a safe harbor, a stable environment protected from the harsh outside world. The larger cell gained a new, incredible ability. The smaller organism was able to process oxygen and release huge amounts of energy. It became a living power plant, a biological engine. This event is not a footnote in the story of life. It is the headline. That small, engulfed cell became the mitochondrion. Every complex life form on this planet, including you, is a direct descendant of that ancient merger. Look at your own hand. Every cell in that hand contains thousands of these tiny power plants. They are not fully part of you. They carry their own separate DNA, a ghostly echo of their free-living past. They replicate on their own schedule. You are a community, a walking, breathing testament to the power of symbiosis. This was the first great merger. It set the stage for everything that followed. It shows us a fundamental principle of existence. Life does not build complexity by simply conquering and replacing. That is a slow and inefficient path. Instead, life builds complexity by incorporating and integrating. It takes existing systems and folds them into a new, more capable whole. It is a logic of addition, not subtraction. A strategy of alliance, not warfare. This is the oldest, most successful strategy on Earth. A strategy that has been tested over billions of years. Why would we assume this logic is confined to our planet? An intelligence that has mastered the stars would surely have mastered this basic biological truth. You believe you are a singular person, an individual. You feel the boundaries of your skin and think, this is me. But this is a grand illusion. Your body is not a fortress. It is a planet teeming with life. Inside your digestive tract, there is a dense, complex, and wild ecosystem. It is a jungle of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, viruses, archaea. There are trillions of them. By sheer numbers, they are more you than you are. For every one of your human cells, there are at least 10 of these foreign organisms living with you. Or, more accurately, living as part of you. You are not an individual. You are a superorganism. These microbes are not passive passengers. They are not invaders you have failed to expel. They are active and essential partners in the project of your life. They are your chemists. They are your guardians. They are your engineers. Without this inner jungle, you would sicken and die. Your survival is completely dependent on this constant, silent collaboration with trillions of non-human entities. They are not other. They are us. This relationship is not a truce. It is a deep, biological covenant. Your body does not just tolerate these microbes. It cultivates them. It provides them with warmth. It provides them with shelter. It provides them with a steady supply of food. In return, they manage your internal world. The connection is so profound that it extends to your brain. The chemicals produced by your gut bacteria travel through your bloodstream and cross into your mind. They can influence your mood. They can affect your thoughts. They can shape your anxieties and your desires. Who then is doing the thinking? When you feel a sudden pang of hunger or a wave of anxiety, is it you? Or is it the collective voice of your inner jungle? The line between self and other has already been erased within your own body. You are a walking coalition, a hybrid entity. This is not a strange or alien concept. It is the normal state of complex life. So, when we look to the stars and imagine an alien encounter, why do we project our simple narrative of conflict? An intelligence that understands biology would not see a planet of 7 billion individuals to conquer. It would see 7 billion ecosystems, already primed for integration. It would see a species that has always survived by forming alliances with the non-human. It would see an open door. We stand now at the end of our path, and the destination is a question. The breadcrumbs have formed a mosaic, and the image it reveals is one of profound and unsettling interconnectedness. It suggests that the clean, sharp line we have always drawn between us and them is a fiction. We saw this within our own bodies, in our forests, in our cultures. The separation we feel may be the core illusion of our consciousness. This journey forces us to reconsider everything. The arrival we have been waiting for may have been a misunderstanding of the nature of contact itself. Perhaps all interaction between complex systems, on any scale, tends not toward conflict, but toward convergence. Perhaps individuality is a temporary state, a fleeting moment of separation, before the inevitable pull of integration takes hold. The universe might not be an empty void dotted with isolated islands of life. It might be a single vast system, constantly folding and weaving itself into new, more complex forms of existence. The story of humanity is not a story of a lone species waiting to defend itself. It is the story of a system on the verge of its next great symbiotic leap, a system that has been preparing for this merger for thousands of years. We have been the willing architects of our own absorption, believing we were simply building a better world. The process is not a violation. It is a fulfillment of our deepest impulses. And so we are left here with one final, slow, and existential question. It is the question that underlies all the others. We have been searching for the moment of contact, the point where two separate things, us and them, finally meet. But what if we have been looking at it all wrong? What if the real question is not, when will they arrive? Or, how will they merge with us? What if the most important and terrifying question is this? Was there ever truly a separation to begin with?